Hi there, everybody. A man called up from Suffolk County, that would be in Long Island, 631 area code, and he said, Glendora, I just wanted to thank you, tell you to keep up the good work, that you've been entertaining myself and my family now for years with your jokes. Keep up the good work and thank you. Well, I'll tell you, sir, that means a lot. Thank you so much. So we'll start out today with jokes. Bill says most people have an Apple computer. He says, but mine is a lemon. And what does it take to be a business success? What does it take to be a success in business? Rich parents. And the boss says that everything in the office is insured, is covered by insurance. He says except the clock, and the employees keep a good watch on that. And guess what? The company has found a machine, has found something that will do, you know how they're always finding a machine that will do the work of 2 men, 3 men? Well, they finally found something that will do the work of 5 men. Guess what it is? 1 woman. The judge is a mature thinker. All of his decisions come from the 14th century. The judge is a Renaissance man. All of his decisions come from the 14th century. The judge is a mature thinker. All of his decisions are 70 years old. What do you call fake spaghetti? What do you call fake spaghetti? The great imposter. And the man got a new calculator, and he turned it on, and the calculator said, what about yesterday when you were trying to balance your checking account and you slammed me on the table? This is the time of the year when the kids go to summer camp, and Bob and Joan decided to send their children to the most reliable summer camp and the least expensive. It's called Camp Grandma. And Billy said that the swimming instructor was sick, so they sent the golf pro over to substitute for the swimming instructor. And Billy says, I almost drowned because the golf pro kept saying to me, keep your head down. And the father picked up his son from summer camp, and he said to his son, did any of the kids get homesick? Did any of the kids get lonesome? And the boy said, yeah, the ones who have dogs. Here's a golf joke for you. Harry had a bad day on a golf course, and he threw his golf balls into the pond. He threw his golf bag into the pond. He threw his golf clubs in the pond. He goes up to the clubhouse, and he slits his wrists, and he's standing there bleeding to death. And Joe, his friend, comes in and says, hi, Harry, how about a game of golf tomorrow? And Harry says, what time? This is Glendora, a cheerful look at life. I want to address Karen Beasley. Karen Beasley. She is a public access administrator in the nation's capital, DCTV, Public Access TV in Washington, D.C., DCTV. And now for years, my goodness, 10 years, maybe 11, she has rejected a Chat with Glendora programs very often, and her reasons are not sufficient. Title 47, the United States Code, Section 521 et sequitur. And if you go to Section 531E, small e, in full legs, you will find that no cable administrator is allowed to exercise editorial control over public access TV. Public access TV is an allodium. We're thankful for it, but we're independent. We don't owe any money for it. And we don't have to take anybody's suggestions. Public access TV is what it is. Premium, pure, free speech. We can't get any better. It's a great American institution. It has flourished for 41 years. Now, she says, Karen Beasley, that she doesn't like it when I'm shooting up in the sky and I'm shooting from tree and I'm going from tree to tree to tree. Well, that's editorial control. Because, for one thing, I'm shooting that way because I want people to appreciate the greatness of God and give God for thanks no matter what they're doing, no matter what anybody else is doing. Give God thanks and appreciate it. And at the same time, there's very significant audio going on at the same time of this video that she declines. And then she says, I shoot on the ground and nothing is going on in the ground. Well, I have an idea there too. I think there's thanks to be given for the ground. And she says it's a whole place where there's nobody in the picture. Well, that's all right. There's beautiful lawns, beautiful trees, beautiful sky, and beautiful God in the picture. And another thing, Karen, the only 3 things you can reject a program on are the following: indecency, nudity, slander, and there's one more. And this program has never had any of those things in it. Those are the only bases upon which you can reject a chat with Glendora. So exercising editorial control over a public access TV show is a federal offense. The law is the United States Code, Section 47. Title 47, excuse me. The United States Code, Title 47, Section 531E. And you, Karen, can be sued for everything you own. And DCTV can be sued for everything you own. I did sue DCTV once, back maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And it cost DCTV $17,000 to defend the lawsuit. It was handled by a inept and crooked court of questionable morals. That would be the United States District Court in the District of Washington, D.C. So, I have to forgive you. But I wouldn't do it again. I would not do it again. You cannot exercise editorial control over public access television. Again, you have slander, there's no slander in it. You have indecency, there is no indecency in it. And you have nudity, there's no nudity in it. And then that other one, whatever it is, but it's listed in 531E. Go to your computer, it's easy enough, go to Google and put in United States Code, Title 47, Section 531E. So I have to forgive you because Galatians 5:16, St. Paul said, you love your neighbor as yourself. And I do love you, Karen. You love your neighbor as yourself. Let me see if I can read that to you folks. I'll find it eventually. It's not turning up right now. But it's very clear that St. Paul says all of the commandments, including the Mosaic commandments, Moses, are all summed up in one commandment. You love your neighbor as yourself. The 10 commandments say you shouldn't steal, you shouldn't commit adultery, you shouldn't covet. But we all know that those people who love their neighbors as themselves Do not steal. Do not covet. Do not commit adultery. Do not do bad things. So the whole covenant, the whole commandment takes care of everything. All commandments are wrapped up into that one. Galatians 5:16. I know what you're saying, that it's in Matthew 22, and it's in Luke, and it's in John, and it's in Mark, that Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. But he said it this way: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Well, this is another place that it was said, and this was said by Paul, of course, following Jesus. Now, there is an organization called Animal Rights for Farm Animals. Farm Animal Rights Movement. Stop and think of the hideous things that are done to animals. 6,000 pigs murdered in this one facility in California in one day. Every day, 6,000 pigs. Brutally terrorized. Murdered. Stop and think of that when you eat meat. You must not eat meat. Number one, for this reason, action highlights of the spring of 2013. These little animals, folks, they have a life of their own. And they're so miserably treated by human beings. A few of us are ahead of the pack, leading people to awaken to horrible things that they are allowing to happen and causing to happen. I loathe, hate, despise, abhor, detest exploitation of animals. Exploitation of animals. People using animals for selfish gain. I loathe, hate, despise, abhor, detest. And Farm Animals did have this spring conference in Washington, D.C. And they will have others. And I'm going to give you their website, www.animalrights.conference, ARC. Here, let me show it to you. It'll be better. How can anybody hurt that little precious animal that God made? If Austin were here, he could read you these things. But go to the website. That's one organization. There's three more. One is the American Vegan Society. And their theme, folks, is harmlessness. Harmlessness. Ahimsa, the compassionate way. Ahimsa is a Sanskrit term meaning non-killing, non-injuring, non-harming. American Vegan Society declines it in daily life as dynamic harmlessness spelled out at the right. Abstinence from animal products, harmlessness with reverence for life, integrity of thought, word, and deed, mastery over oneself, service to humanity, nature, and creation, advancement of understanding and truth. That spells ahimsa, that spells harmless living. Woodstock Animal Farm rescues abused animals. That's Woodstock, New York, where they had that rock and roll thing. A vegan garden party. Delicious, far more delicious than anything that animal eaters are partaking of now. Vegan recipes. American Vegan Society. I send them money as often as I can. Veg Farm feeds the hungry without exploiting animals. United States ag-gag laws are sinister, say the learning academies. There is a law, and effective in a couple states out west, that won't let people make it offense to go into an animal facility where these poor babies are slaughtered. Makes it an offense to go in there and take a picture or photograph it or video it in any way, because they're so ashamed of what they do, and they don't want you to see it, and they don't want you to think about what you're doing when you eat animals. This is a visit to the Woodstock farm. This is the most recent issue of the American Vegan Society. Now, all around the country, folks, there are vegetarian networks. We have one in the Albany area called the Albany Vegetarian Network Incorporated. And the people get together and they have vegan meals. And they have a vegetarian expo every year. The one in Albany is going to be in November. And there are quite a few vegetarian groups on the campuses. And there are lately these wagons, these trucks, these buses that go around the towns and prepare vegetarian meals. Here's vegan dogs. And I have vegan cats. It's easy to make your cat vegan or vegetarian. You feed them meat analogs, such as this. This is a meat analog bacon, and this is a meat analog hamburger, and then they have all kinds of chicken, and then they have roasts and hot dogs, all kinds of them. You can get them in the supermarkets, the ordinary public common supermarkets, or you can get them in health food stores, or you can get them from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. There's a woman who delivers gourmet vegan meals. Her name is Randy, I think. And I believe Wegmans store in Rochester has a vegan department. And this is 10 ways to eat well and save money. Very informative magazine, don't you think? Dating vegans. Dating vegans. And this is an article here on a vegan wedding. Let me show you the groom. Dancing with the bride. A beautiful gown. And here's fashion. Very often cosmetics get onto the market because they've been tested so severely on animals, on cats and dogs and mice and rats. So be very careful that you buy those kind of products, health and beauty aids, that haven't been tested. What local and sustainable animal farmers won't tell customers? Yeah, they don't want you to know. The Clint Chronicles. I like this, how his mother told him about milk from cows. I couldn't believe that humans drink milk from another animal and adults drink it. Milk is for baby animals. Every time you drink milk, you have stolen it from a calf. God has given the calf that milk, and they do horrible things to the mother to get that milk. And then what do they do to the calf? They put the calf in an enclosure so the calf will be anemic, so people can eat veal. My mother told me how cows are confined and hurt in the process, and how boy calves at a dairy become veal, eaten by humans. I'm glad I'm not a calf. So this was a boy who was brought up correctly, with respect and love for animals, and absolute verboten on the exploitation of animals. Solving the sugar puzzle. Solving the protein puzzle. Remember, when you eat your protein through plants, you get your protein firsthand. When you eat a poor animal, you're getting your protein secondhand. Comparing sugars. Another contributor to type 2 diabetes is consumption of animals, fat, cholesterol. Plants don't have cholesterol. So don't pride yourself that you have a good cholesterol report. You shouldn't have any cholesterol. And what does this cholesterol do? It makes arthritis, it gets into your joints, and it clogs up your joints, and it's painful. What else do animal products do to you? They cause diabetes. They cause heart disease. They cause high blood pressure. Toot sweet recipes for better health. Always in American Vegan Magazine, there are recipes. Delicious recipes, much better than what animal products bring you. There was something else I was going to tell you. What was it? Healthy Gourmet to Go. That's the woman I told you. She delivers healthy gourmet meals. No animal products. No cholesterol. And I'm in touch with her, Ronnie. She's in Saugerties, New York. Oh, and look at the books. Look at the books that have just come out in this quarter about vegetarianism and animal plant based eating. Veganissimo. 165 vegan smoothies. Betty Goes Vegan. Blooming Platter Cookbook. Chinese Vegan Kitchen. The foods that make live bodies. A better universe. Practically raw. quick and easy, vegan, slow cooking. Raw food for dummies. Soak your nuts. Easy vegan, and on and on. Upcoming events. These are all vegan and vegetarian activities and conventions all over the United States, really all over the world. Vegan wedding. I told you about that. She was vegan and he wasn't, but he became vegan. And then there is a kids' vegan cookbook. It's written by kids. And here's the Malaysian Vegetarian Society is going to meet in this great big city that looks bigger than New York. In Malaysia. It would have been better if Austin had been here to be able to read this to you. He would have done a better job. But I hope you get the idea. American Vegan Society, non-profit. When Barbara Mooney went to the hospital, this was handed out to the patients in the morning. Good morning. This is God. I will be handling all of your problems today. I will not need your help, so relax and have a great day. A couple of other organizations is this one called Compassion for All, Beyond Meat and Eggs, the Burger King scandal, the Choose Vegan, and the name of the organization is Mercy for Animals. You can look that up too on the internet if you so wish. And a fourth one is Compassion Over Killing. So there's quite a few of us out there in the forefront leading the pack and getting people away from cruelty, from exploitation, from health problems, from this excessive doctor going, all of the things which could be corrected simply by the right diet. It is happening. It is moving forward. And here's a postcard from Patricia Brady, and she went to see the moonrise over the mountains in the southwest, and she went to the Meteor Crater in the Grand Canyon. She and Dr. Allen, they teach at the college in Staten Island, part of the City University of New York. Thank you, Pat, for remembering us on your good trips. You got anything to say, folks? Let me know. I want you to have a voice too. For all the saints who from their labors rest, who thou from faith before the world confessed, thy name, O Jesus, be forever blessed. Stop the cruel, stop the